Hello, and welcome to our ongoing exploration of Christian prayer practices in a series that we're calling Pray Always, Pray Always. Today I'd like to talk about something called posture prayer. You know, most of us, when we pray, it's an exclusively verbal endeavor. Prayers of intercession, prayers of thanksgiving, the Lord's Prayer, breath prayer, it all involves speaking to God. Even if it's speaking silently, it's still using words. Posture prayer is a wordless sort of prayer. It simply involves adopting different physical positions and then reflecting on what thoughts and feelings those postures raise for us, and inviting God to speak to us through those thoughts and feelings. To do this type of prayer, you would go to your prayer space, your special prayer space if you have one. If you don't, anywhere that's quiet and comfortable and you know that you won't be interrupted will do just fine. You might want to light a candle to represent the presence of God. If you're a journaler, you'll want to have your journal and something to write with. You might want to have a yoga mat or a floor pillow, because there are some of these exercises that are done sitting or lying on the floor. That being said, if you're like me and you have trouble getting up off the floor once you've gotten onto it, then by all means adapt these prayer postures in whatever way is comfortable for you. Instead of sitting on the floor, you might sit in a chair. Instead of lying on the floor, you might lie on your bed or on a couch. Whatever's going to make these prayer positions possible for you. So begin with a brief prayer, inviting God to give you insight through this form of prayer. And then follow the same pattern for each of the positions. You would get into the position and then begin to reflect on what that prayer position is like for you. What comes to mind when you do it, what response or memories or feelings does it raise up for you. If God were standing in front of you, what would you be saying to God through that prayer position? And in what ways do you think God is worshipped in that position? Remain in each of these positions for as long as you'd like, and feel free to use as few or as many, or to make up your own prayer positions. I offer these only as suggestions. So the first is just kneeling. You perhaps already kneel when you pray, but if you don't, then I would invite you to kneel. And if you do ordinarily kneel when you pray, kneel but don't speak. Kneel and simply be. Another position might be to lie prostrate on the ground, or standing with your arms raised with your palms up. This is a position that was very commonly done in the early church. It was known as orans. Perhaps stand with your arms to the side and every few seconds bow. Maybe sit or stand and hold your hands out in front of you, cupped. Try sitting cross-legged if you can, and place your arms on your legs in your lap or on your knees. Try lying on your back and placing your hands behind your head as though you were lounging in a hammock. Stand with your arms crossed and your hands on each shoulder. Try standing with your feet about shoulder length apart, with your arms out straight and your head thrown back. And perhaps finally stand or sit or kneel and make the sign of the cross on your forehead, or perhaps in a larger gesture from your forehead to your navel and then to each shoulder. When you're done, offer a prayer of thanksgiving for this time with God. Reflect on this experience. Perhaps if you're a journaler, write it in your journal. And then when you're done, once again give thanks to God for the opportunity to be with God in prayer in this way. I hope that you'll try some of these positions or some that you think of yourself, and feel free to send me feedback, give me suggestions, send me questions. You can reach me at pastor.amumc@gmail.com. May God bless you as you continue to explore and deepen your spiritual life through praying always and praying all ways.